for recording? Is it already rolling?
I just sank right into that. I think this is broken.
Test. We're good?
Like sitting on a booster seat here.
All right, what's going on, everybody? It's Coach Mark here. Good morning. I hope you're having a fabulous freaking day. And so we're going to try to change up here a little bit and a little solo kind of 5-minute riff. We came up with a topic of winning versus losing and just kind of general thoughts. It's not something I've really honestly spent a ton of time like preparing for, so we'll just see how this goes, shall we? But again, I think, in life, winning and losing, obviously they're kind of opposites of one another, but I think they kind of weirdly complement one another, right? So I think they're both necessary, and I think you never really lose if you learn, right? So it's either you win or you learn kind of thing. But it is, an actual losing, we'll start there. It's a necessary evil, especially when I was a kid. I was fortunate to play a lot of different sports and learn a lot and get involved at a very early age with competitive baseball. And I vividly remember some losses that were heartbreaking. I remember I was a pitcher, and the one game, we lost 1-0 and I gave up a home run. And that was literally about the only hit I gave up all game, and it was devastating. But next year, and I know this is a glory day, but it's hopefully serving as an example. We ended up we won in convincing fashion. We actually played the same team, and I think the whole team was kind of fueled by that loss. So I think, again, if you can learn from that and not let it absolutely just cripple your existence, I think losing is a necessary thing. And I think teams that just steamroll everyone, we've seen some of these AAU teams that just don't even face a level of competition near theirs. When they finally do, they might not know how to handle it, right? And then it just becomes this weird thing where you don't know what to do because you've just got so used to winning, which again, there can be value obviously in that. But I think at a young age, we need to win and lose within competition. From there, winning is necessary too, because you don't want to just lose all the time, and that's just going to make you give up. So that's where the learning kind of comes in, right? So if I'm learning, we'll use the CrossFit space. If I'm losing the workouts, right, which we'll all be doing in the open to all these professional athletes, if I look at it that way, then it might be a negative. But hopefully we're in the open right now in this 5-week journey. Hopefully I've learned something, right? I've learned something about myself, maybe about a movement, maybe about just the way I can handle recovery after a really intense workout. And then that'll ultimately make my life better, because I think that's what winning's about, is your life is taking on this new trajectory and it's climbing up and to the right. And definitely being an entrepreneur, it's not that simple. It's not that easy of a journey to where everything's just up and to the right. You got some peaks, you got some valleys. But if you're constantly putting your best foot forward and putting forth a genuine effort every day, I think we all know if we're kind of winning the day or losing the day, right? And I personally I constantly want to get better, so that's kind of my superpower in this space, where I want to learn as much as I can every day. And it's about my body, about nutrition, about my members, about our community, about our coaches. And I just genuinely care, and I want to better myself through my actions. And if I'm sleeping until noon, hitting the snooze button 15 times every day and eating like crap and not being practicing what I preach, then I'm losing in a big way. And I'm probably going to be losing a lot of members too, and friends and stuff like that. So I want my attitude. I want to be a person that my energy is contagious. And that's something I've personally kind of shifted on lately, because I can be a lot of a low energy guy sometimes. I'm really trying to step into that light and really win every day, and then take it personally if I don't. And if I do lose a day, I want to learn from it. So how do my habits, actions, everything dictate just an overall winning attitude? So, when it comes between just the flat out question, what's the difference between winning and losing? My first response is you don't lose if you learn. And I think they're both necessary, though. I think everyone, you can't just go through life and win every situation, win every argument, win every, debate on social media. I want to ultimately have some winning in my life for sure, and more wins than losses, but also have that perspective of what it's like to lose. But most of the time, for many of my losses, I want to learn and ultimately better myself, because that's what I'm most passionate about, is self-improvement. And that's why we started the gym. That's why we're trying to recruit as many people into this environment as possible, because we believe that we can be the best hour of people's day. And if people are continually surrounding themselves with positive people like our staff and our members, then ultimately they're going to win the day. Hope that helped, guys. Thanks.
All right. What's up, guys? So if you're watching this, we're talking about the difference between winning and losing. So kind of just going off the cuff here about my views on winning and losing. I think by definition, we're looking at winning and losing like if you're looking at a game, right? The winner's going to have more points, the loser's going to have less points. But if I'm being honest, I think it's a little bit of a cop-out when we look at the real definition of winning and losing. I think that's something that we all think of as a, I don't know, less mature, less younger, I don't know. But as we age, as we gain more experience, I think that the definition changes for a lot of people. It definitely has changed for myself, where I think winning is really more about impacting the people that are, within your realm, right? Impacting the people that you can directly affect. Very, very few people in the world get a chance to impact the entire world, their entire country, their entire state. And it's amazing to strive for. But I think winning for me is more about impacting those people that you can directly relate with, interact with on a daily basis. So we're fortunate enough here to win on a daily basis in the gym, just interacting with our classes, our members, our clients, our community every single day, day in and day out. Losing, on the other hand, can be, I think, a little bit more broad. It can be lacking that self-awareness, lacking humility, talking down about others. Losing can be, in business, something like taking the kind of sleazy way out, if you will, the used car salesman way out, not being upfront, not being transparent. I think losing can be burning a bridge to gain more for yourself. It can be, putting someone else down to try and benefit yourself or your business. So I think the opportunities are a little bit more broad for losing. I don't know. Maybe they're just as broad for winning. You can call just about anything a win. Walking through the door on a day when you don't want to be here is a win. Taking time to have a one-on-one conversation with someone who you normally wouldn't have a conversation with, I think that can be a win. I think you really need to search for those wins in daily life. If you don't search for wins, you can really get bogged down in maybe those big numbers. Let's just talk about weightlifting, for example. We have this conversation a lot with our athletes about how you have to search for PRs, you have to search for wins, and for lack of a better term, because if all I'm searching for is those big numbers, let's just say a back squat PR, or in weightlifting, a snatch PR. I haven't personally had a PR snatch in, 5 years, something like that. But if I'm only searching for that one big number, I'm going to drive myself crazy. What I have to do is actually look for those PRs, something I haven't done before. Maybe I hit a double at a percentage I've never hit before. Maybe I've felt better when I was doing this lift than I ever have before. Those are wins. Those are PRs. And you have to look for those because that still means you're improving. You may not be improving on this thing right up here, but you're improving along the path along the way. So I think we definitely need to look for wins, look to win in our life. So to translate this maybe into everyday life, maybe you're at a job where you feel stuck, you feel kind of sedentary. A win could be taking a person out for lunch that you've never had for lunch before. Maybe it's asking your boss or supervisor to take on some more responsibility that you haven't done before. Maybe it's getting to come in late or leave early one day. Like those are all wins. They change up your routine. They change up your daily life. So I think those are definitely things that we need to look for in order to kind of keep us moving forward. So and I think one of the biggest things to really think about is a takeaway, if you will, is that you can definitely, let me sure I get this right. You can definitely win while losing, and you can definitely lose while winning, right? So, for example, if we're winning in the business, maybe we're selling ourselves short in the community aspect of things, and it's tough, right? We lose sight of these things from time to time, and we always have to circle back around to our 4 core values: our consistency, our client first, our humility, and our integrity. So you can definitely the opposite, right? If I'm losing, if I'm expressing those 4 core values, I can still find a win in a loss. Experience is a great teacher. Experience is a great win. So even though we might fail at something, we can definitely take away a win by gaining from the experience of that loss.